Welcome, welcome, welcome to Cleaning Business Life, where we have profit strategies for growth. And today we are joined by our special guest, Miss Extraordinaire, Katie with Clean Queen Maid Service of Westminster. And of course, our infamous Kimberly Gonzales, Inventor Extraordinaire. Kim, take it away.
Woohoo! I am so happy to have my dear friend Katie join us today. I love Katie. I have watched her grow, and I'm not going to go too deep in what she is because we're going to ask her questions, but I've watched Katie grow since moving to Colorado, and I am just so incredibly proud of you, Katie. Like,
oh, thanks,
I
Kim.
just have watched you grow, and I'm just, my heart just goes out to you because you have done amazing, even through the COVID. Like, you were phenomenal. So,
Thank you.
but yeah, can we ask you some questions?
Of course. Yeah.
Get to know you?
Happy to be
Awesome.
here.
Well, good. So tell us some things about yourself so we can get to know you better and our audience. Like, do you have pets? What kind of hobbies do you have? Your favorite place to eat? So if anybody comes to visit you in Denver, Colorado, like your go-to place, and your favorite place to travel. And I know this because you are a travel extraordinaire. So
Yeah, I love traveling. That's probably my favorite hobby. So
that is your hobby
I
there.
love, like, working out and weightlifting, and I have a dog named Stella. She's my love. And otherwise, I'm just, working. I started Clean Queen about 5 years ago. And before that, I owned a cleaning business in Hawaii for about 8 years. So I've been running a cleaning service for 13 years now.
Wow.
Nice. And what is your favorite place to eat? If you had to bring people here in Denver, would you take them to any
I don't
places?
know. Well, I don't really know. I guess I do go out. I'm like, I never go out. I guess I do go out. But not too often. I mean, I have a group of cleaning business friends here, and we do meet up for lunch every once in a while, and they always have really good places I've never heard of because I just don't go out normally. So I don't know, there's a lot of really neat places down in Denver. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't think of.
I know I can't answer the Denver one either. I mean, I could tell you, I mean, obviously even I could probably say, what's up in Fort Collins and like up in our area, but yeah, Denver, I don't know. So.
Yeah, I know my favorite restaurant in Fort Collins because I lived there, but I just moved out here. And so, yeah, I don't have much experience out here.
So if somebody came to visit you in Fort Collins, then where would you recommend them to go for your favorite restaurant?
Simmer is the best restaurant out there.
Never heard of it. Huh.
Oh, it's so good. You were at Laura's Phoenix Rising thing.
Yes.
Dinner there one.
Okay, that was it, right?
Yeah, it was like, it's in just the little parking lot of the Rain Tree Athletic Club. It's kind of like a little shopping center area, but
I remember.
It's really good food. So
take it away, Shannon. You want to ask the next question?
Sure. Go ahead, and everybody has a different point of evolution on why and how they started their cleaning business. Why don't you go ahead and tell us the how and the why?
Well, yeah, so I first started in 2009 when I graduated college, and it was mostly because, the economy wasn't great. Nobody was hiring. There were no jobs available. I was just getting out of college. And my older sister, Laura, had started her cleaning service in Fort Collins a few years prior. And I would go home, like, when I was in college, during my summer breaks and things like that, and help her clean and help her in the office and things. And so when I was getting ready to graduate and I had no idea what I was going to do, I just called her up and was like, what do you think I should do? And she said, oh, you should start a cleaning service. So
awesome.
Just followed Laura, and she's been like an amazing, mentor and helped me along the way as well.
Very cool. If we could all only be lucky to have an older sibling to kind of guide us through the process. That's just
I know, right? I'm the lucky one. She's really amazing, and she does a lot of research. And I was always so impressed with what she's done even before I started in the industry. So
what did you go to school for?
Business.
Business. Okay, that's good. Theater.
But business, it's like business administration.
Okay.
We all pick that at some point.
You can't run a business. So
what do I pick? I'm like, oh, I better get this.
I know, I went from sign language interpreter to owning a cleaning business, completely opposite.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? You never know. This stuff will come in handy. So, what do you think is your biggest challenge in the cleaning industry, and how have you overcome it? So if you can help other companies out there that are,
I think everyone's biggest challenge is just the balance between hiring and having enough clients for those employees. So that's always our biggest challenge, is just keeping the schedule balanced really between having enough employees and having enough clients. So we don't have a great solution, we try to keep ourselves overstaffed as best as possible. And then we do have a system for rolling our clients, where we try to not roll our clients more than once every 6 months. So we have a system around that we use in Maid Central.
Okay, let's ask for the people who don't know what rolling is. Can you give a little bit of a definition?
Yeah, it's just when we have to ask our clients that are on their weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly schedule if we can move them to the next day.
Gotcha.
So we're just rolling them on to the next day. And then, because we usually have completely full schedules for our whole teams. And then if somebody calls out and we can't filter those jobs on other people's schedules, we have to ask if we can roll them to the next day. However, we don't want to be continuing to ask the same clients over and over again. So we really track that well and do our best to only ask them once every 6 months.
Awesome. Now, do you have secret shoppers to fill in on your schedule for the newbies?
Nope. We had a field manager who our area is really big. So our field manager was putting a lot of miles on her personal vehicle and decided just to step back and do training for us, which, I mean, we love her. She's amazing. She's an amazing trainer. But yeah, we don't really have anybody checking houses or anything like that right now.
Yeah, I like the concept of having the secret shopper. So it can provide extra space in your schedule if you have newbies who are trying to figure it out still. So what kind of, and I'm going to put you on the spot and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. How many girls do you currently have working, or guys?
We have 15. We've been 15? Stuck at 15 for a while, probably about a year now.
And they're all full-time, or are they full-time, part-time?
Yep, we have full-times.
Very cool. And do you work in solos or teams?
Solos.
I like solos too.
I love solos. It's like solos is a game changer for sure.
Definitely. It's the most profitable business model I have found.
I've never run teams. I tried it for a quick second and it just didn't work out for me. So
it's too much chatter between them all.
Lots of whining and complaining and all kinds of things happen when you run teams, for sure, especially when they're driving around the same.
I mean, there's problems with all of it,
Right, there is.
So just pick which ones you want to work on.
Then the nuances are definitely there.
Mm-hmm.
And then what makes a good business owner, cleaning business owner?
I mean, I think just somebody that's willing to continuing to learn. I mean,
learning is always important.
It takes so much, in my opinion, it takes so much to run a business, and there's so much to build. And
yes,
you just need to constantly be learning and evolving. Even if you think that you have it all, things change. So we all saw that obviously during COVID. We had the biggest shift we've probably all ever dealt with.
Right.
But yeah, just constantly working with a coach, working with masterminding with other cleaning business owners, going to the industry events, and just continuing to learn about our industry and how we can better our companies. I think that's really what makes a good business owner.
Definitely. I concur.
Yeah, exactly. And Katie, I've watched you, and you've invested a lot of money back into your cleaning company with your training. And I think that is something that a lot of new cleaning companies hesitate with, is really finding the investment or to budget it in to take the trainings and go to these conventions and to learn all this stuff. So do you feel like this is super important, like when starting a cleaning company?
Oh yeah. I talk to a lot of people that do cleaning, especially out here in my area. And I always suggest them to get plugged into the industry. That was just probably the biggest game changer for me. Was talking to other people who do the same things. I mean, obviously I've always had my sister, but really getting into the industry, finding other friends. And honestly, my competitors out here are really awesome. They're some of my best friends and my biggest referral partners as well. So
you do. We have, there's Shannon, there is just such a great group of cleaning business owners in Denver. And I hope one day that you can meet them, because they are also phenomenally nice and wonderful. And it is just neat to see them all grow. Like me stepping back from running my cleaning company and seeing it as an outsider now, and watching these group of people in like these cleaning business owners in Denver I've watched them grow, and it just blows my mind away how wonderful you guys are. And they are sweet. And we actually talked about that. I think Shannon, oh no, I think this is our upcoming podcast. That's one of our upcoming podcast, is really getting to know your competitors, because they're going to be your best friends.
They're your greatest resource too.
Yeah.
Collaboration since 2020 has been the biggest shift in the whole industry. Like we have a small messenger group. So if we all run short on a particular job, we can say, hey, I have this job coming up. I closed it. Does anyone else have availability on this day? And because they're all insured, it ends up being a good thing. But yeah, getting together quarterly is highly recommended for sure. And really getting to know what the needs are of the other businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really grateful for my group of friends out here. So
looking back 6 months ago, where do you see the biggest change in your business? And what were the big, like, if you can think of 3 big things that have changed in your business back 6 months ago?
That's a great question. I would say definitely my mindset has been the biggest thing. Like I said, I love continuing education. I went to Liz's Foundation's Scale conference.
Very cool.
And it was,
I love Liz.
Oh, I love Liz too. She's changed my life.
Everybody loves Liz. I love Liz too.
Yeah. But that conference really, really helped my mindset a lot. I mean, yeah, it really helped a lot. Being able to see more of like the big picture, and also see like the mistakes that we were making. I bought a cleaning service, a competitor in my area.
Awesome.
Well, it didn't end up being a great fit for us. And I didn't make moves fast enough to fix it. So it really made last year incredibly challenging. And what I learned the most from this scale conference I went to is that we are more of like the high scale dining in our area. And I bought somebody that more serviced like McDonald's, and the customers were 100% different. Like we maybe kept 20% of them. And those 20%, like, we feel like they're our customers now. They accepted our price increases, and just, we had to make a lot of changes.
I bet.
So anyway, it was a big learning experience. At first, it was like, the world is ending. I made the biggest mistake of my life, blah, blah, blah. But then it was really, going to that scale class and realizing, oh my gosh, well, this was why we felt this way. Like I always thought cleaning was this, and we all fit in here, and we do, but like, we are not all the same.
Right.
We all do different things. We all charge differently. We all, and it became very clear to me during that scale conference I went to, that I was like, wow, okay, well, this is why we're having such a big challenge. And really also realizing, like, just, we needed to get our staff on the same page with what we were trying to do as far as branding and things like that. So we've we made a lot of changes, and we put a lot of things in place after that conference. It was really great.
So with the purchase of the other business, did you just purchase the list or the whole business itself? Like all of the reviews, the website, the whole deal?
No, it was a list. It was just a list.
Gotcha.
Basically, it was interesting.
Would you do it again?
Honestly, no, probably not. Yeah, I'd have to I'd make a lot of changes, but after I went against like my intuition and things, just thinking, oh, we'll be able to make this work. And it did not work.
Gotcha.
So, but whatever. I mean, it was completely my fault for just
But it's a learning experience, and we have to make mistakes to learn, right, to grow better. And then that's when we help other people out. We learn from our mistakes, and then we're able to give back and help other people out so that they don't make the same mistakes.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, I mean,
thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that was
definitely.
that's for me, that would be hard, being like,
no,
but
that
that's
was
good.
I mean, it was rough. It was a big mistake. It kind of ruined, it was a hard year. It was our first year doing $1 million. And so you'd think like it would be awesome, but no, it was a really hard year.
You worked for your money.
We did. It was the hardest year we've had for sure. But we we saw, like, we just grew so fast, you know?
Right.
And then we saw so many things that we didn't have in place. We had to put so many processes in place and make so many changes. And, you know, we had some staff that didn't stay with us and all of it. But I think it's all for the better. And, you know, we're gonna be able to get past this 15. You know, we've been at 15 cleaners for probably a year now. We'll finally be able to go past it. I'm certain we'll get past it this year. But yeah, that's just been putting a lot of processes in place.
Awesome. Congratulations. I've
Yeah.
purchased lists in the past and it's been a yay or nay. Like the first list I purchased because I didn't know what I was doing. She had wanted a certain amount and we kind of renegotiated. And then when I actually looked, instead of going by my gut, I had overpaid for a list that wasn't even they weren't even my client. And then the second time it was like, okay, so I learned, right? Because you got to pay attention. You're shelling out cash. And the second list, I cherry picked the ones I wanted and then bought those.
Nice.
Highly recommend doing that versus the whole list.
Oh, same.
And that ended up giving me some ROI for it. But yeah, the first time I I paid like 10 grand.
Yeah. No, I was like something where it was in the favor of both of us. So like we were only paying for the people that we actually stayed on and we cleaned for and things. But yeah, I mean, I definitely I would do things differently next time. Like, yeah, I kind of wish I would have just been like, well, we will pay you for a certain amount that we were able to quote. And if they come on with us, but yeah, I should have requoted everybody quite honestly, because it was just completely
things you learn along the way. It's a hindsight, right? And it just, everybody, you know, when you talk to people who've purchased other lists, everybody has a similar story of like, oh my gosh, I did this. So yeah, no, kudos for you for sharing it. Thank you for, you know, that transparency, because that'll give a lot of other cleaners, because you get approached, right? You get approached by a lot of
and I've gotten approached several times since then, and I've been able to ask the right questions to be like, this is not a good fit, like right from the beginning, which is nice. So I did learn. So I guess that's good.
See, that's the thing.
You know, we have some great clients from it. We got some great like reputation. Like almost every single person that came on did give us a good review. They were happy with us. I mean, I can't say it was all bad. You know, it just made for a hard year, and it was a big
definitely.
Did they refer those clients? Did they refer other people to you?
Yeah.
So there, that helps pay for some of that. Then the referrals, you know, coming in.
Yeah. I mean, all of it. You know, if I were to look back at all of it, I'm sure it was fine. You know, but while we were in it, it was like, oh my God, this is a mess.
Hugs. Totally been there.
Yeah.
Communicate. Oh goodness. I just want to throw this out here, and it's not on our question list, but I just wanted to break it up and just have a good laugh. So, because I know when I was cleaning houses, I know Shannon's got stories too, but what was the most weirdest house you've ever cleaned?
Oh, that's a hard question,
or like even like something that was like you guys were shocked by when you went in the house to clean. I know for us, Katie, like us being in Colorado, I know weed was legalized early on, you know, so for us that was like the normal, but other places it's not, you know, legalized, so I'm sure it's different for other people.
Oh, that's a great question. I really, you know, I've been doing this for like 13 plus years, and I really can't think of anything that is standing out. Like I know I can think of things in other people's companies, but I just can't.
All the horror stories.
Yeah, I can think of other things that I've heard from other people, but I'm just like, for personal,
no.
Yeah, I don't think we really had anything.
Oh, you're lucky then.
Yeah.
I mean, what was yours?
Mine was walking into a house, and like it was the weed one that I was telling you about, like with the medical marijuana, but his whole entire house was like just grow rooms. Like the living room was a grow room, and his bedroom was a grow room, and
yeah, we've encountered that before. Well,
it's a lot of grow rooms.
I didn't realize was we had to move out one time, and I was like, oh, it didn't look bad, right? I was like, it shouldn't be bad. It took us hours because they were growing in the house, and the stickiness of that stuff goes all over the walls and ceilings and everything. I mean, oh my God.
That's what we had. And it was on the floors. Yeah, the floors and everything and
everything. Yeah.
We charged quite a bit
before
for
that
that
were
house.
like dab tables. And I've been like,
yes,
you want us to clean this? Like it's kind of hard. And, yeah.
I know, because it would not come up. And I remember we charged a lot. I think the square footage for that house, I want to say was maybe 1,200, but because there was so much of it, and like just the stickiness of everything, like you said, on things. I think I ended up charging $240
Yeah.
like each clean. Like it was nuts. But that was Shannon, what about you? What was your craziest adventure?
But I also have we walked into move out cleaning that was we're in Arizona. We just became like legal probably I think last year. And then we walked into a grow house. Another situation we were doing a top to bottom deluxe cleaning. I got several phone calls. I couldn't send a lead over to figure out what the problem was. So I went over there, and this is in the gated community of our area. And it's a huge sprawling 6,500 square foot home. And it's a guy, but he has all of these Game of Thrones like portraits and they're nudes. And what the big hoodoo was, he wanted all of his bongs like hand washed. And at the time, this is before it became legal, we are not allowed to touch that stuff. So it became like this argument over who was going to clean his bongs. And he was in his underwear. I'm like, you can't, it's inappropriate for you to be in your chonies, dude. I got like 4 females here. He was odd. I mean, when I looked at the pictures in his bedroom, I'm like, what's going on here? It was just odd. He was just very flamboyant, and he would drop his pants on the floor and then want the girls to pick him up. And I'm like,
No.
I tried to do research on him to see if he was like royalty or what. He just was way out there.
I could tell you another thing that I've cleaned that was really strange. Just out there, there was this house I did, and in her barn, so it was kind of weird. It was like her barn was on the bottom, so she had her horses, and then you would take the stairs from in the barn up to her house. Her house was on top of the barn, but it was like she had me clean this buffalo, dead buffalo, stuffed buffalo. And this is when I first started, so I didn't know better. And so she gave me a brush and she gave me some things. So I'm sitting there brushing the buffalo's fur, trying to make it look nice. I'm like, I can't believe I'm cleaning a dead buffalo head today.
That is too funny.
Katie, you seriously have never run into any of these weird things?
I mean, the more you guys talk, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess we I'm like, yeah, I guess we have, but I guess I consider that whatever. It's like part of the job. Like, I guess I don't think of that stuff as like odd, But I think the one of the hardest customers I ever had was one of my first customers in Hawaii. And I ran a company called Aloha All Natural Cleaning Services. So we were natural, but this lady like had wiped everything and having used bleach on everything. So I ended up getting bleach stains on all of my clothes, like all my work clothes, everything. And it was just kind of silly because I was like, wow, I'm a natural cleaning service, but I have bleach stains all over everything. I only used bleach to that one lady's house, but yeah, I mean, I loved that lady. She was such a nice person, but yeah, bleach. That was the only thing.
Oh my gosh. How did you even breathe? Like walk out breathing?
I got sick several times, because I didn't know anything. I mean, I was really young. It was when I first graduated college, I was like 23. I didn't really know about ventilation or anything. So yeah, it was tough.
That's nuts. And you're a natural cleaning service. That's like bleach was like probably not on your list.
Yeah.
Wasn't on ours, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's stuff we encounter. So we've never had anything.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's still, I mean, I think that's just funny just to think back of all the weird ththings we've had to clean. Like when we first started, we didn't know better, So
I will share one more with you.
When I first started, I didn't know better. So we would, do a lot more than what we were supposed to do, probably.
So we had one more odd cleaning, and it was with a short-term rental, and I got a lot of panicked calls. And again, there was no lead. So I had to go out into the mountain to see what the problem was. And they had a party, and there were all these blow-up dolls. And
oh my gosh,
trying to deflate these blow-up dolls, and nobody, of course, wants to touch the blow-up dolls. I have never laughed so hard in my entire life. So I have Maria, and she is walking, and she's got 2 blow-up dolls, and she's going down to the trash bin. And I almost peed my pants because I was laughing so hard I could not control it. I'm trying to be professional, trying to be the leader. And she's just got these 2 blow-up. I tried to squeeze these blow-up dolls to get the air out so they could throw them away. You couldn't, because there wasn't enough room in the bin for the actual full inflated. And there were 7 of them.
But they just sticking out.
They were just, body parts. And I was just, so she and then because nobody wanted to touch the floor, there's no way to protect yourself unless you wore your sweatshirt, just to see them carry, out the blow-up dolls. Oh my gosh. It was just the most hilarious thing.
See, I'm telling you crazy things.
Yep. I
Gotta
have
get
no
my breath
video to
back.
prove it. I only have my memory and it's burned in there forever.
Oh my gosh.
So I forget, what question are we on?
Oh, we're on number 6.
Okay. So Miss Katie, if you had advice for the newbies, what are the top 5 best pieces of advice you would give them?
It would be to plug into the industry right away. So just start talking to other people that own cleaning services, get networked in, talk to a cleaning business coach, make sure that you start with, it's hard because when you're first starting, you don't have a lot of money. So I would
Right.
say, if you can, start with a good software. But I know that when a lot of us are starting, we don't have a lot of money. So we just start with what we can. But do get yourself a good software as soon as you can, as soon as you can afford it, because that's one of the hardest things is switching softwares or getting onto a software. And then you want to choose a good one that you can grow with so that you don't have to keep switching softwares, because
Yeah, it's time consuming.
it is hard. It's big, huge learning curve.
And you have to relearn it all.
Yeah.
Their platform.
So that I would say those are the biggest things. Just plug in the industry, make sure you have a good software. Yeah. I don't know.
What software are you using?
Maid Central.
What is it? Maid Central?
Maid Central, yeah.
Okay.
They started
It's
up.
the best one in my opinion. That one changed my life because I used to, I'm not good at tracking things. I'm not very, I'm just not a very organized person. And we really struggled with our numbers and just even having our numbers. And so Maid Central has it all together for you. It's really nice.
Awesome. We use GetJobber. I think, Kim, did you use Launch 27? Is that what you used when you had your cleaning business?
No, I used the customer factor. It was what I could afford at the time, and I actually grew with them, which was really nice. So, but definitely the Maid Central, from what I know about from the Maid Central, I remember them first doing the beta program for it and just learning about it when they first came out. But it sounds like it's a really good platform. I feel, this is just my honest opinion, I feel, and you can agree with me, Katie, I feel like you need to be right around the 225,000 to 500,000 range.
Yes.
I started when I was 225,000 with Maid Central.
Yeah, I think that's where you need to be at for that.
$2 million. So
yep,
it helped us get far fast.
Sorry, my golden retrievers are wrestling underneath my desk and I'm trying to make them behave. Sit, be good. Sorry, short interruption.
Yeah, that's right around where we started Maid Central. And for me, it's been I know everyone talks about how it's a more expensive software. That has no factor for me at all, because it's completely all this, everything that it provides is very valuable in my opinion. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
So it's an all-in-one. So it's an accounting, CRM, and
it will do CRM stuff for you. It does connect to QuickBooks Online, although I only use it for invoicing. We use QuickBooks Online for our accounting and stuff.
Gotcha.
It will do payroll, which is amazing. Rate increases, keeps your master schedule. It does everything. I mean,
awesome.
Try this into Maid Central sale, but yeah.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. The industry has come a long ways. I remember, and you probably remember this too, when we were new into the industry, the softwares didn't read together. You had to have, if you could even get a software, there was no Facebook, there was no groups that you could collaborate with. There was nothing.
Yeah. I started 13 years ago on Google Calendar,
Me too.
Calendar was hard to do. Constantly would have people's schedules just disappear.
Right. Oh, I didn't get it. I'm like, why? You're supposed to be there.
Yeah, man, not having a software at all was hard. And then my sister helped me get onto Made Easy, which was the first software I ever used. And then from there, we just kind of moved on every time there was a kind of better software out there. So we moved, I think, from Made Easy to Service Autopilot to Maid Central. Those are the only moves I've ever done, because it is a lot to move to a software.
Yes,
just getting all the information moved over and everything. It's, but that's why I tell everybody, just pick a good software that you can grow with and then move there and stick with it. Because yeah.
So I have to ask Katie, who is your biggest mentor, and then why do you love your business?
Oh, well, my biggest mentor obviously been Laura, my sister. And then, but after Laura, I would say Liz, because she's my cleaning business coach right now. And then I love my business because it does give me the freedom, the time freedom to travel. Traveling is probably my biggest passion. Laura, Derek and I are going to go to Malta later this year, and then we're going to go to India early next year. So we already have a couple trips planned. I'm super excited about it. But so I would say that's why I love my business. Also, the people that I get to work with. I have a great staff. I love my managers and the team that we're building. And I love that it's something that I can build that's going to be a long-term thing. When I was building it in Hawaii, it was really hard because I knew I didn't want to live there like my whole life for long term. So I was like, what am I doing? Like, I keep just building this business that I don't intend on keeping, so, but I don't feel that way out here because I feel like, this is where I'm going to stay. I just bought my first house. So I'll be out here, I'm sure, for a long time. But
that was actually on her goal list. I remember a few years back, and she was talking about like her goals, and one of them was to pay off debt, and then the other one was to buy a house, and she's done it. I'm
awesome. I did it all. I was so excited. So it wasn't the best timing, the mortgage rates are high right now or whatever, but it is what it is. I had a commute. I was commuting from Fort Collins, and so I'm very grateful I was able to live with my sister for the past several years, and I had no bills. I didn't pay rent or anything. So that's what was able to afford me to invest more into my business and pay off my debt and things like that, and then save up for my first house. So I'm very, very, very grateful for that. But that commute was a lot. It was too much. So I'm glad now that I'm out here with less of a commute.
Yeah, because that's like an hour commute from
It was it was by the time we moved to Laura's new house, it was an hour and like 20
that's
plus
right, because she moved. That's right. Yeah. So
yeah,
20 minutes.
Yeah, which is fine. I love her new house. It's just like the best. But
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I just, the commute was getting to be a lot. And I was just like, all right, I am.
Denver traffic's no joke.
Yes, it's crazy.
I don't wish
well, in Fort Collins. Oh my God. Like I was just coming out of Fort Collins or going up to Fort Collins, I think I can't even remember what day it was, but I was just like there's too many people there now for the infrastructure. It's pretty crazy.
And Shannon was saying that Prescott's just grown, and I went to go visit when we were in Arizona, and I just am blown away. Like Shannon said, that Prescott's just grown like mad.
Mm-hmm.
So
it used to take 8 minutes to go from town to town. It now takes 45 minutes to go from town to town. And it's only 9 miles.
Yeah, the traffic and stuff sucks. It's awesome for business.
Yeah, it's good for business.
Like, I'm in a growing area, and so I think that's great. It's great for business and things. But yeah, where I'm at, in the next 10 years, I'm sure it's just going to get crazy with traffic and things.
So if people are listening and you're in your area, can you explain where your service area is? So if they are in the area and they can refer people, if they're listening and they have friends out there or family, like, can you just tell your service area? So
so we are out of Westminster. Our office is out of Westminster, which is northern suburb of Denver. And we basically service Westminster, Thornton, Broomfield, Arvada, and then Lafayette, Louisville, Superior area. So that's kind of our service area. We don't do a lot of Denver. We cut out a lot of Denver because just the city is hard, the parking is hard. So we basically stay in like the highlands of Denver, if anybody's familiar with that area, west of the 76 and north of Colfax.
Awesome. So yeah, if you guys are listening and you have family or friends that need cleaning services in that area, reach out to Katie and she'll get you hooked up. So I think we only have like one more question left and then we're good.
I actually have a really quick question before you get to the last question. So just for the audience to know. So Katie, you have all W-2s, or do you have a hybrid business model with
all W-2s? We have all employees.
Okay. A lot of people are doing interesting things, so I thought I would ask.
Yeah, we have all employees.
Gotcha.
Do you think that's better than 1099s? Just throwing it out there for the audience. I know what I would say, but
that's my personal preference.
Yeah,
we like having the control and being able to train people on what we want as for our service. So,
and a lot of people don't realize that, and Shannon and I have seen it in our groups, that they think that a 1099, they could say, okay, well, this is my shirt that you can put on, and this is, the cleaning products you can use, and this is your thing. And they don't realize that you can't do that with 1099s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And we want to be able to do that
W-2s.
because we advertise that we're like a natural company, and we advertise that we'll clean specific, do certain things. And
Can't do that with the
I like having the
1099.
control. I like having uniforms, and that's the brand that we're putting out there. So
Awesome.
Very
And
cool.
do you want to finish it up, Shannon, or do you want me to finish it up?
Go ahead. You can totally do it. I talk all
Alright.
the time.
I know you do. I just hide in my kitchen and work. No, I'm just kidding. So Katie, what are your goals for the next year and the next 5 years? Because I know goal setting is so important for businesses.
yeah. Well, in the next year, we are trying to bust past this growth pause that we've been in for like a year. We're trying to even just get to 1.2 million. We did 1 million last year, so that's not a lot of growth. But
That's still great
awesome.
though, Katie, from where you've come from.
I see people growing by like 500,000 to 1 million a year, and I'm like, that's awesome. We're not there yet. We still have a lot of processes to put in place in order to accommodate growth like that. So that's our goal, is to be working on putting the processes in place over the next year, getting another manager in place at our office, and just continuing to build like our training programs, things like that, in order for us to support larger growth. My ultimate goal is to do $5 million in my service area. And I do think that we can do that. I'm not sure if it would be possible in the next 5 years. So we'll see. I have no idea.
Awesome.
Katie, thank you so much for joining us. And again, I'm so incredibly proud of you. My heart is just overflowing with love and joy for you, because I just have watched you grow. And
thanks, Kimberly.
I love our car rides. Shannon and Katie and I got a chance to bond. We went to Laura put on this phenomenal training, and I was blessed to be able to go, and I got to ride up with Katie the whole way there and back. And we just got a really good chance just to really know each other instead of just the business part. And
that was a great thing. I love that. And the biggest thing I got out of that was that at that point I was like, all right, I need to move. I can't continue staying where I'm at right now. And so at that point I started looking at buying a house, and now I'm in my house.
I'm just so proud of you. You've come so far, from when we both, because you and I both started our company right around the same time. Yeah. And so I just have really loved your growth, and I've loved watching you just blow it out of the water. So, and obviously I had different plans, but I'm okay with that. So,
well, I love your cleaning product. It's amazing. And
I know she cleaned her whole house with my products. I was so happy.
I know. Awesome. Well,
it's a great product.
It is. It's really amazing. Like the degreasing aspect of it and everything is really amazing. And I really wish I could figure out how to implement it, incorporate it into our cleaning my cleaning service stuff, because I love that product.
We'll talk. I'm working on some stuff right now. I've been working on, Shannon knows I've been in the back part of it, and I'm actually working on creating, this is for the newer companies too, but for new people that are just starting out, but I'm creating a bag, and it's going to have a bag with my products, and every single thing that they need to get started is going to be right in that bag that they can buy.
Nice.
But let's chat and let's see if we can work something out, because I'm working hard on just really getting a name in our industry, because I really want to make training easier for us business owners for cleaning. When we train, I want to make it easier for them, and my heart just goes out to everybody to help them out. So, but
awesome.
Thank you so much for joining Shannon and I and
our
baby podcast that's growing, but we're so excited.
Yay. Well, thank you guys so much. It was great to meet you, Shannon, and Kimberly. Thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
We need to go for lunch. We're overdue for lunch.
So we're probably not too far away.
Yeah, we'll come find. I know where you live. Well, kind of. No, I don't know where you live now. You moved, but we'll find you. I'll find you.
We'll see each other in a couple of weeks at Laura's
yes.
So
yes, that's true. So, well, have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine. It is so sunny and beautiful here, Shannon. So I'm going to go outside and get my outside time with my chickens.
Awesome. Nice. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, our podcast. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.